Good evening, everyone. It's Monday night, and welcome once again to the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by AMG Logistics. I'm Paul Hipkiss, and tonight I'm joined by Mr. Fixture Craig Courtney.
Good evening, everyone.
The one and only Claire Giblin till 7:30.
Good evening.
The Chairman Alan Watton.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Road Mark Adams.
Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's okay.
And the main man, Mr. Chris Brown.
Good evening.
So, yeah, no Mark Meredith again tonight. I believe he still has parental duties going on, so he hopes to be back with us next week and sends on his apologies for not being with us for the last 2 weeks now. I think he's going to be getting a yellow card, isn't he, Chris?
God, yeah, it's got to be on to a yellow now.
I reckon you should dock him at least a week's wage. Well, actually, make it a month.
Yeah, got to be.
He's contravening international laws, hasn't he?
So we beat pretty much, well, it was an arm wrestle, wasn't it, on Saturday, a little bit. I don't think they posed us much threat, to be honest, but, you know, when we scored quite early, I thought, great, here we go, you know, we're going to see a few goals, and it just kind of like turned into a bit of a battle, didn't it, after we scored so early, but into the next round we go anyway, get the job done, and the small matter of Newcastle in round 4, and a great draw for us at home for once as well. And Claire, what do you think? Where are your thoughts, and what did you think when we got Newcastle?
Well, it was finally the time where we've got a big team, isn't it, really? I mean, you know, we've had, no offence to them, the Readings, the Blackburns. We've had some really dodgy draws. One time we actually got a big draw, Man City, we had COVID, so it was nice to be at home as well. I think the amount of games that we've now got, especially with the Virtue Cup, it's nice to actually be at home, and I just think they're such a good crowd as well. I mean, you know, they're a one city team, aren't they? And they're playing really well. Let's test ourselves. Let's see how close are we? How far have we come? Obviously, we want to win. That's the whole point. And we'll go out there. And I think when we played against Fulham in the early rounds of the Carabao Cup, I think we gave them a bit of a game. They had a penalty, didn't they? And things like that. So let's see whereabouts we are. Fingers crossed they rest a few, because they've got a fixture list as well that's very tough around that period. But really pleased. I mean, going on to Saturday, I think it was obviously 12 o'clock kick-off really early, freezing cold for us as well. Foggy, and, you know, the weather wasn't great. But I thought we played well. I don't think, again, we got out of second gear really. No. I think that they played well, fair play to them. They gave us a bit of a game, which I'm finding more teams are starting to do that now. I think they realise, actually, if we go at this team, they could get a goal against us. But I think Kiyama took his goal well, really pleased for him. I think it wasn't a penalty, but that's just my opinion. And, you know, I just think that the goals were taken well. Yuki started. It was nice to see different players in different positions. The fact that he rested some for ages as well. Just really pleased with it. And it's always nice to have a little bit of a cup run. Obviously, the league's more important. But, you know, hopefully we can obviously win tomorrow as well. So we've got lots going on.
Yeah, and obviously Dogs' goal was pretty special. I'm not going to lie, I was saying to the guy next to me, you know, he hasn't brought much to this game either, and I bring Alfie May on now for him, and literally 2 seconds after I said that, the ball drops to him and he goes and does that. So
one of the best goals I think we've seen at St Andrews, and I know I've been a Dykes critic, but fair play to him. Absolutely. At the moment he's starting to get a little bit of form, slowly but surely, but we'll see what happens.
I think he needs a run, you know. I certainly wouldn't change his starting 11 in the league from what it's been if everyone's fit and available. But, you know, when he comes on the pitch, you know, if he has more of an impact, and certainly if he scores goals like that, then, you know, he'll do for me. But, Craig, what do you think, mate? Where were you at on Saturday with it all?
I mean, I had a change of seat on Saturday, and I actually got a completely different perspective of the game, because we was 2 rows from the front in the safe standing. So, I mean, first of all, it's the first time we've been down there. Never ever been to a football game where a seat's covered in frost, so that'll never happen again. But the one thing I would say is, you know, you get to see that a lot of the work off the ball, but also just how dirty some teams and some players can be. And I kept a close eye first of all on Djukovic to start off with, just to see how much of a pummeling he gets. And the real thing is, we all see it when he's up in the air. We all can see the shoves in the back and everything else. Being down at that level, you then begin to see the kicking of the ankles.
Yeah.
And the various little snidey tactics that I think, every team employs, so we're probably guilty of it ourselves. But the one thing I noticed on Saturday, and talking about Dykes, his work off the ball is phenomenal. And the way he pulls people about freed up space. So a lot of the kind of, not breakaways, but the opportunities we had, when you watched, and as I did, I kept a close eye on him. I wanted to see what he was doing. And off the ball, like I say, he made these runs, which then dragged the player away, freed up some space for others. But also, he was very clever in that quite often you'd see him taking the opposite angle to Djukovic, because then he was dragging somebody away for Djuki to win it in the air. So, I don't know, it's food for thought with Dykes. I mean, first of all, tomorrow night, I would start him again. I think he is a confidence player. But I tell you what, in the whole of the FA Cup this season, you're going to struggle to see a better goal, because it wasn't just the strike, it was the setup. It was the fact that he had the guts, some people would say audacity, to try and loop it over a player to start off with. But I don't think there'd have been a goalkeeper around that would have saved that on the day. Yokoyama, great until he got found out. And then he's just got to learn to whip in a ball more first time than cutting in, because he beat that defender hands down each time he was up against him and had the runs. But then that last little bit of the cross that we've been crying out for Laird, we discussed it between ourselves. We then missed that from him. But he has got a bright future. I don't think, for me, he's ready to start in the league. But again, tomorrow night, I'd like to see him out there, because it's all about getting the experience and the confidence. And the other thing I loved, seeing our young lad making his debut. We've spoken a lot about the players we've brought into the club, and the players that we'd like to see us potentially sign in the future. We haven't really spoken a lot about the youngsters, so it was nice to see him getting his debut. And I think, he'll get a little bit more of an opportunity as we progress as well. And that's credit to our, youth policy and also the under-21s and what they're doing and giving them their opportunity. And, that's, Davies said it. If he thinks they're ready, he will play them. And he obviously sees something in them, and it was great. And then finally, welcome back, Alfie Chang, because
good to see.
He is a great young player. Got a horrible injury, but it was great to see him back on the pitch. And again, I hope to see him tomorrow evening as well. I think it's now fitness to get him back to where he was. But overall, we did a job. And we did a job on a pitch I have not seen St Andrews covered in frost. We got under soil heating. We were lucky to get that game on. So huge kudos and thanks to the grounds people at the stadium, because I think it took a lot of work to make sure that was happening. But yeah, pleasing. Fourth round, great game against Newcastle. We always tend to play well against Newcastle as well, especially at St Andrews. And do you know what? All these people that are immediately like, oh, well, that's it. It's only the fourth round. That's it. We're going out. Don't underestimate it, because we can turn up and we can beat anybody on the day. It's the FA Cup. Who'd have said that Tamworth would take Spurs to extra time? Nobody. So why can't we get a result next time around? And yeah, I'm looking forward to having the Geordie boys down here, because they really do make a great atmosphere as well.
It's funny because last time we were in this division 30 years ago, we drew Liverpool, didn't we? In the fourth round again, wasn't it, or third round?
At Anfield, and gave them a game and a half. Ricky Otto screamer.
We got them at home first, didn't we?
Right.
Then we went to Anfield in the replay, which obviously wouldn't happen now. Obviously, you're not going to get a replay, which
no, it's a shame.
I did feel for Tamworth a bit because of that. To be honest, they had to go to extra time, and unfortunately, they go on and lose the game. But you can't help but think, can you? This time last year, they would have gone on and played at Tottenham's new stadium, and it probably would have seen them, for another 4 or 5 years financially, the money they would have made from it as well. So
1.4 million was their intake.
Yeah.
Across the whole of last season. If they'd have got a replay at Spurs, it was guaranteed £1 million.
Yeah.
And it's whoever came, well, no, I won't say whoever came up with the idea, because this is purely to protect the big boys in the Premier League. Absolutely nothing else behind it. They enter these competitions, they should field a team. Not just that, the other thing that disappoints me, I know we've shuffled our crew a lot across the games, but to look at some of those teams that the Premier League teams put out is a disgrace, because people are paying a minimum value, incidentally, that the FA set to go and watch a game of football. And what are they watching? Sometimes second, maybe even third string players turning out, but they're expecting to see Premier League players. It's disgusting, and that's where the FA should be focusing, not this, we don't want to do a replay. Actually make it worthwhile, bring out the teams and let them play to their full strength. If they don't like it, tough titty, it's got to be done,
Yeah, I think the Spurs 11, I was actually surprised with. I'm not going to lie. I thought they'd rest more than what they did. I wasn't expecting Pedro Porro to play right back.
No.
Spurs
were, and it's credit to Spurs, actually, I will say, because they did do it. But even then, you look at the Arsenal and Man U team, there was so many changes in there. Kids, again, coming onto the pitch or starting the games, you might not see again this season.
Yeah, but all I'm going to say on that is if you think about what we've done in the past as well.
Oh, yeah, we've done it.
The Carabao Cup, and I think this year we've been think about how many games we've played. We've played just as much as some of the ones up higher, because we've had to start from the first round of everything, and the Virtue Cup seems to be every week. It feels like anyway, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But no, I think overall, we got the job done on Saturday. I was happy coming away from the game, and into the next round we go. And I echo what you said there, Craig, about seeing Alfie Chang on the pitch again. That was great. I was very impressed with what I saw of the kid who come on as well. Is it Paqueta? Sorry, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it Paqueta or Paqueta?
Zaid Paqueta.
Paqueta. E-double-K-E-T-E. Is that right?
Paqueta.
Yeah.
Is it the other way around? B-E-double-T?
B-E-double-T. EKA.
What position did he play?
He was on the left wing when he come on. And he looked quick and he looked big and strong, Al, to me. Not a big
because I listened to Lincoln BBC commentary, and they didn't know any of the names of the Birmingham players.
Why at this rate?
So when he came on, he wasn't mentioned. I worked it out who it was, because they mentioned a youngster, so there must be him. But obviously he never got a mention. If he did get a mention, he wasn't named. He just, it's just Birmingham attacking down the left or something. But I've got to, my experience of Saturday wasn't great, to be honest. But, you look at the team, I'm thinking, that's a lot of people out, and how well we played the week before, and some of the best players we had, they're not even in the squad, and so on. Are we taking too much liberties here? As the game turned out, no, we weren't. We were enough. We got enough to beat them. And when you see two substitutes on the pitch like Chang and this, what's his name, Zabetti? Bateka. You're thinking, no, we really are stretched. And okay, I was expecting sort of Alfie May to come on late or something. No, he puts the two kids on. I'm thinking, well, you really are, stretching a point here. But fair play, you sit back and think, well, I didn't need to worry, did I? The gaffer knows what he's doing. Yeah. And it's very comforting to be a Birmingham City supporter and not. I've now got over the fear of losing any game. You think, we're having a great run. We've gone so many games without defeat, and it's got to end. If we're going to put half a team out, it's going to end today, and it doesn't. And it's wonderful. Yeah. Really, really impressed with this bloke. I can't say enough about him. He seems to know, you say, well, why isn't Yokohama playing all the time? Well, we've answered that question because he has a lot of positives and some negatives, and those negatives are keeping him aside regularly. And when he puts that those assets into his pocket and has all the things going for him, then he'll play. And it's as simple as that. And it doesn't matter whether you don't understand English or not. Don't take much working out. If you score a goal after 30 seconds and you're whipped off after 70. And to be fair to the commentators on Lincoln, they did know his name, and because they said, "Oh, he's going off." Well, he hasn't done much since he scored, has he? Now I can't contradict them, but it just shows you that whatever the gaffer's doing with him and Dykes and Dukey and whatever, it's working. Just stand back and watch.
I, for one, would like to see more of Yokoyama coming off the bench in the league. I think, certainly when we're a couple of goals up on other occasions, I'd give him a run, let him run at and run at people. Certainly in the games, around Christmas time when we drew twice, I would have certainly given him an opportunity in them games to see if he could have come on and changed the game at 0-0 against Blackpool and, away from home as well. We've got a 1-1 somewhere, which I forget now off the top of my head, but it was 1-1, weren't it? We drew 1-1 away to Stockport.
Yeah.
So, I would have liked to have seen him maybe given the opportunity in that sort of situation to see if he could come on and change the game. Do you agree with that, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, if his decision-making improves, I mean, I'd like to see him with another 12 months football in him, and I think he's on an upward trajectory, isn't he? I think he's going to be a hell of a player. Get another 12 months learning, 12 months working on his final ball, decision-making, and I think we're going to have a hell of a player on our hands. I really like the look of him. Quickly touching on Saturday, it would have been lovely to see Dukey score. It was a great save by Jaycock, to be honest. And it was like he didn't have much time to react, did he, Dukey? It was like a split-second thing. But overall, yeah, we're through. We weren't really sort of challenged. I don't think they had much up front, did they, really? It was quite a comfortable afternoon for our keeper, although he did flap a couple of times, towards the end. I think there's a couple of high balls that he's like, oh dear. But yeah, that's just nitpicking, really. We're through. That's the main thing.
He was unlucky with the penalty, wasn't he?
As well.
Yeah, because he got into it. Yeah, he did. But I mean, the cup draw, like we've all said, it's so exciting. I mean, I can't wait now. I'm really looking forward to it. It'd be interesting what sort of prices we charge. I don't think it'll be silly prices. I mean, some are saying like 48 quid and 45 quid. I don't think for a minute we'll do that. But it's going to be a great occasion. I just cannot wait.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how cold were we all on Saturday?
Oh, it was so bad. I've got to be honest. Can I? I've got to confess. There's like hoodie blanket things that we wear at home on the sofa and that.
I told me you were wearing one.
Oh no!
He was at the game with an hoodie on.
Oh no!
Oh Jesus! So he's on the
Oh,
show.
I know. They're called
It
was freezing.
It's a snuggle robe, isn't it? They're called snuggle robes. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
The
very
snuggle
dare
and robe doesn't go together.
It doesn't,
I'm afraid
does it?
they're
No,
two
no.
words that should
Did
never.
it
go
have
together.
like floppy bunny ears on it as well?
I haven't admitted I wore one, but yeah, I did feel like I had a fat
but you
poop
wore
on.
one. Can I just before we go on to a little bit more? I just want to clarify a point. So Daniel Rowan has said on the message board that I'm talking rubbish because we don't play our youth players in the cup matches. Yeah. How will they get first team experience? I am not saying do not play the youth. What I'm saying is don't make 11 changes. Don't make a wholesale change to your team. So there's a big difference. The youngsters will get their games, and I agree with them being bedded in those type of scenarios. But the big boys don't make 1 or 2 changes. They make 11 and plus. So therefore, that's my point. Play as strong as you can, embed your youngsters, but there should always be an element of your first team squad involved. So just to clarify that point.
I've got to say, though, for Man City, James McAtee was given an opportunity and scored a hat-trick. Yeah. So it could be the start of him now kicking on to make a name for himself and become an England international and whatever else he wants to be. So it is good sometimes when they do make the changes because it gives opportunity to others. But I know what you're saying, Craig. It is annoying when you see 11 changes.
Yeah.
But
You know, it's kind of how disappointed, right? So let's just say we've drawn Man City in the next round of the Cup at St Andrews, and everybody's thinking we're going to get Man City, and we turn up on the day and we find that there's actually only 2 first-teamers in there, and the rest of them are made up of second or third-string players, and everybody has paid full whack to go to a game. Then you're going to be disappointed, and as a fan, I think that lets down both sets of fans. It's not a case of one or the other.
I know,
So, you know,
I know
from
you're
a
saying,
voting
but
perspective, we did it, I'd be racked off.
so
in that, Craig. Sorry, Chris.
Go on.
Just getting that though. I'm not there for autographs. I'm there to see the Blues win, hopefully. And if they field all their kids out there and play 2 first-teamers, that's great for us. That's the way I see it.
Do you remember when we went down to Portsmouth and we lost, and we had Jude Bellingham and Stockdale playing?
Yeah.
So we've done it, and we did it every time we played the Virtue Cup.
Yeah.
We best our main team to play the second team, or else when are they going to get game time? I do get what you mean, though. But like Liverpool, fair play to them, they still had 5
Liverpool
or 6
squad
of
was
them
brilliant.
in, like Trent was playing and Nunes and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a balancing act, and I think that if you went to watch Tamworth the other day and paid the full price, you still got to see a lot of the Premier League players anyway. So if anything, I think it's a balancing act, isn't it? Because I think we would, if we when hopefully we get to the Premier League and things like that, I would expect him to rest some of our players and if it's against a so-called smaller team.
But Spurs never looked like scoring a goal for 100 and odd minutes till they brought on Son and who was the other first teamer they brought on? Pardon?
Kulusevski.
Yeah, and they scored 3 goals with them on. Now that didn't look like a goal for 100 minutes.
No.
So this is what bugs me. If you don't want a replay, then put a bloody side out that wins the game, and you ain't going to get a replay, are you? Don't put half the side out. So you finish up playing extra time, and the only way you can win the game is to bite your tongue and say, "Well, we got to put the stars on, otherwise we're going out here."
Yeah.
If it's a replay, then you can put what side out. You know, go away. We'll be happy with the draw, and then we'll put a decent side out at home, fill the stadium, and smash them. Yeah. That's how football should be. Not this. It's. I mean, I could fill the programme with moans about the way the game is being run, and I'm not going to, because it's boring. But the authorities haven't got a clue, haven't got a Scooby. It really annoys me.
I think it's more frustrating for the home fans, isn't it? Like, let's say you're a Man City kid, you're 9 years old, you've loved watching Haaland on the telly, and last Saturday was your first ever game live, and he's not playing. You know, so that springs to mind. But as long as they win, as a fan, as long as we win, I ain't bothered who we're playing against or what play.
It's difficult to knock Man City. They won 8-0.
Exactly. Exactly.
If they'd have won with that team they put out, if they'd have won 1-0, 2-0 or something, then you could say, come on, this is not good enough. But they put a side out that just spanked them. And they can, because their second string would probably be in the top 3 in the Premiership. Well, without Haaland, without, they even had Grealish on, who's third choice, and, looked like a third choice. But that kid who's got the hat-trick, boy, did he look good.
Yeah.
You've got to put these people in if they're great, but you can't put people. I mean, the Spurs team to me was shocking. It was boring as I was falling asleep, and I thought if it had been another non-league club, not a Birmingham team, I'd have switched it off. I'd have put something else on, but it was because it was sort of my local team, and I know Tamworth and whatever. I was interested. I switched over eventually to Bromley, which is obviously where my daughter's family live, and they scored us immediately. And I thought, wow, this is good. And to be fair, it got Newcastle going. They played some great stuff. and it was a great game of football. No complaints, but Tottenham's match was shocking. It really was.
Yeah.
Man City, I could watch their third team anytime.
Yeah, I'm not knocking Man City. I mean, it give that kid an opportunity that replaced Haaland, who was a young English striker from their academy as well. And he managed to get himself a goal. So, it's great to see like 4 or 5 academy players playing from the start for a club like Man City. And, let's hope that we see it at the Blues again, because it's becoming harder and harder at our club, isn't it, for academy players to get in, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
That shows we're progressing. When you go back to Lee Clark's days and, even under Rowett as well, and the previous managers, we've had to field our academy players because we've not been able to sign anybody, have we? So, you have to find a happy medium.
Let's be honest. If Newcastle bring a team down, I don't expect it to be a full team, and we win. We won't be complaining, will we?
No. I hope they do. I hope they field. I hope they field their 5th team.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We won't be going. Oh, we all wanted to see their great players. We'll be going. No, we want to win.
In my opinion, I think we will, because I think they're trying so desperately hard to win something because it's been so long. I think you'll find that they'll feel a stronger team as possible. I know they'll be playing Arsenal on the Wednesday before.
Yeah.
But I still think that they will field a really strong team against us because they want to get into the next round.
To be honest, I think the Geordies as well are synonymous with the cup, aren't they? They really love the FA Cup. They're really obsessed with it almost. So I think they will play a full strength team.
I want them to as well. So that I know it's my saying daft. I almost want that challenge at the moment. I want to see where we are as a club. Yeah. And the only way you're going to see that is by playing against the teams when they have as close to a full strength side out as possible, because you can't gauge us against second and third string players. It'd be totally unfair. And as fans, yes, I agree, Paul. I want to win the game, but also I want to see us being as tested as much as we possibly can. I want to see how close we can get to those particular levels, because it's going to be tough. Newcastle are a phenomenal side. To name one player, Isaac, wow. Any player in this country, and he'd be the one that everybody wants to sign. And I would love, to have our defence tested against him and that sort of stuff, because it's probably fair to say we haven't had that yet. And that's the only way to truly judge how good our team is. And also, come on, we all want to be promoted. How much do we then need to do to go to the next level? What do we then? It puts, It puts us in a really good position to understand where do we need to strengthen. And that will all come, hopefully, off the back of that game. The window's closed. We won't be able to do anything. Let's see what we've got at that point in time and then what we've got to do in the summer.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see Dan Burn back as well. Because obviously he's at the moment, he's up there. Well, he was captain the other day. I know, but it's not their main one. But it'll be good to have Gordon, hopefully, and Bruno and stuff like that. Just to see some of the players that we see on Match of the Day. And I know that we've been there and we've done that, and we've been in the Premier League, but it's been such a long time since we've been near it, because we did go backwards, didn't we, under the old owners? So hopefully, I generally think we'll field the strongest team as possible. And I really hope we put our first team out. It's a Saturday. We would have had obviously Peterborough away, but to me, put out our main team. Because hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't get any injuries or anything like that. But you might as well go for it. We've got nothing, as we said, we've got nothing to lose.
So
if we win this game, we've proven something. If we lose, gutted, but at least let's go down fighting. It's going to be a good game. I can't wait.
Do you think there's any chance that Peterborough away could be moved to the Tuesday, the week before, in that week before, or the Wednesday possibly, because we are getting a bit of fixture congestion now. I know that we're playing. I don't think we're playing on the 1st of February, aren't we? On the Saturday. So could we possibly have a midweek game ourselves, and that be Peterborough away instead of the Saturday, so that we can,
We've got a lot of Tuesdays, Saturdays coming up. I mean,
Thursday
basically the whole of March is nearly Tuesday, Saturday.
Yeah.
We got 6 games in February.
Yeah. Four. We got 4 home games in a row, haven't we?
Yeah, well, hopefully and hopefully we get a week's rest in between the 1st of February and the 8th of February. But I've just got a sneaky feeling we might get Peterborough moved to the Tuesday night before. Hope I'm wrong though. But anyway, welcome to Blues Glimper now, who's now joined our obviously he's now our special chef in the boardroom club, I believe, in the hospitality. So he's just joined the club today.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Sanderson at Blackburn as well, who's left us on loan to go to Blackburn. What are our thoughts on Dion leaving to go to Blackburn?
It's a move for me. I think he needed it, and he's not gonna play every single game for Blackburn. You know, he is there, I think, because of the relationship with John Eustace and how well they bounced off each other when they were together. And I wish him all the luck in the world.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, he's still our player. He's only on loan. I know we might not see him come back, but if he goes up there, he plays a few games, he gets his confidence back, and then, you know, we do keep him, then we've got a player that's got, you know, back to fitness and showed us exactly what he can do. But I wish him all the best. I really do, and I hope that he can pick up his form. And whilst he didn't set the world on fire, he did have some fantastic games for us, and I hope he gets back to those sorts of levels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just asking what. Sorry,
I think
Paul,
it was a mystery. So again, I'm looking at this from a distance. Looking at the team Saturday, I was thinking, what on earth are we playing a right back at centre half for? I didn't know at that point that Sanderson had left, so I'm thinking, well, is he injured? Is he ill or what? But then thinking about it, when I knew the true facts, I still found it a bit, because he couldn't play for Blackburn on Saturday because he's already cup tied, so he might as well have played for us. And again, that was my thoughts, but we still won the game. You know, I don't know. Tell me how he did at centre half, the kid.
Stemstead. I thought he did incredible, to be honest.
Really well. I'm worrying about the manager's decisions, and every time he makes a questionable decision, or what it appears to me to be a bit of a mystery, he comes up trumps, and you know. So yes, thanks, Dion. Enjoy yourself for the rest of the season, and we'll see where it takes us. And as I quite like the kid for some strange reason. I like the way he dealt with his misfortune or his stupidity, shall we put it that way, when he got done, had to drive him back, because he reacted in the right way, and I like that. But you know, he deserves to be playing football, to be honest, and he couldn't be playing for a better bloke as far as I'm concerned.
I think it just shows you how far we've come in 12 months. You know, when you look back 12 months, he was our captain, and now we've loaned Blackburn, and he can't even get on our bench most of the time, you know. Yeah. So, and that's,
he's our 4th best centre half.
Yeah.
However good he is, or bad he is, he's our 4th best centre half.
Yeah.
Now we've only got 3.
Yeah. Well, we'll get another one in, I think, by the end of the window.
We hope so.
I think Newman will come in the summer. Because I think he's going to cost 2 to 3 million. He's only got has he got so much left on his contract that we can get him for free or something?
He's only got.
He's June his contract finishes. We can have him for nothing then.
Yeah, so I think that's why I think Samstead played there at the back. I think, to be fair, Laird ended up centre back. I mean, Gardner Hickman, he can play anywhere, can't he? 'Cause at the moment he's been, you name it, he's played, isn't he? Yeah. But I think going on to Dion, I mean, my mum absolutely adores him. He's been a favourite player for years. But I think Eustace is the right man for him, the right manager. I think he needs someone to put his arm around him. I think he needs a clean slate. I think as fans, we are very, very, we're not forgiving. I think, you know, some of his performances haven't been great. I think obviously he was captain when we got relegated. I think with the drink driving, I think he needs to kind of go and have a fresh start somewhere. I don't think he will play again. I mean, I'll be very, very surprised. But good luck to him, because when he was good, he was really good. And I mean, that season he was on loan, and then obviously the first part he was really good for us. So good luck, Dion.
Yeah, going back to
just to go back on the time frames that you mentioned there about possibly bringing back the Peterborough game, I've just had a look. If Blues win tomorrow night, it's the quarter-final.
Okay. So we will have a week game then, hopefully, in the Virtue Trophy. But yeah, just coming back onto you and your hoodie robe, I had a heated gilet. It was a debut of my heated gilet in the.
How did that go?
Well, I'll tell you what. I advise everyone to get one. It's absolutely superb. Really good.
You recommend it?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you have one, Claire, as well?
No, but I literally had about 10 layers on. I couldn't actually move.
I'll tell you, it was like standing next to the Michelin Man in the second half. He was you know what I mean? Took up 2 seats.
Yeah.
But no, I had it recommended by a friend, and I thought this is just going to run out of battery or it's going to last the whole game. But honestly, I could have gone on for another couple of hours with it on it, and it just makes such a difference, the warmth on you.
How did it work? Do you charge it and stuff?
Yeah, so it's like a USB battery that comes with it. You charge it, and then you plug it into like a USB port on the gilet inside a pocket, and then you just drop the battery in the pocket on your inside pocket. And then,
right.
And it
I'm hoping to wear one tomorrow, so hopefully it won't be as cold.
Yeah.
So if everyone sends me the bank details, I could get one.
Yeah. It's like wearing a heated blanket, shall I say? Yeah, it's electric blanket. That's how I describe it. It's really good. Really good.
All right.
Your arms stay cold though.
Yeah, Steve Portman. What's wrong with people? Just a shirt and a coat was enough.
Yeah, I know. T-shirt will do. The Geordies will come down in
someone in
T-shirts.
shorts, and he says hello to me every game, and I was like, I don't even know how you're in shorts and a thick coat.
Was it lead?
Well, if he walked past me, I'd be like, you, Rope.
Moving on from heated gilets anyway. So who do we think will sign many players by the end of the month? There's only a couple of weeks of the window left. So,
maybe one. Maybe one or two. I think we'll tweak it, but I don't think we've said it before, haven't we, Paul? We don't need wholesale changes, really.
No, I think Scott Wright did well on Saturday. I'll say that. We haven't mentioned. He did quite well. He put in a nice ball for Yokoyama's goal as well. And also, going back to Juki's header as well, what a cross from Cochrane again. It was a bit like But he's such a good player, he could.
He's Premier League class. He could play in the Premier League.
I think so as well, eventually. Yeah, he's certainly ability. But yeah, I think Scott Wright did well as well. Whether or not he's the answer long-term starting on the right, I don't know, obviously. So maybe, if we can get another right winger in, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I think we need to send more of the fringe players on loan, especially the younger ones, like Keller. I thought Keller going to Bradford, brilliant.
Yeah.
Get him playing. If you think about all the people we've got on loan, we've got George Hall, you got Roberts. I mean, you forget about half of them by the time that they've gone. But
Donovan.
I just think he'll just do them some good, get them some game time, and then see and assess at the end of the year. But definitely, we need another winger, 100%.
Yeah,
we need someone else with a bit of pace.
Hasn't Donovan been sent back?
Yeah, Donovan.
Yeah, we've got Donovan back.
Yeah, I liked what I saw of him at times. I know it was under Rooney, but he was probably the only positive during Rooney's time, weren't he?
Yeah,
he did quite well in some of his appearances. I thought when he come off the bench, or I think he start a couple of games as well. I can't remember now, but he did.
I'll send him to a League Two side.
Yeah.
I think Donovan sent, and I think I agree with Mick Reeves here. Send Chang out as well. I know he's just come back from injury. Let's have 6 months of him.
Yeah.
Going out on loan, because that's the best thing. The best thing you can do as a young player is go out and be on loan and also experience it, then come back.
Yeah.
Show us what you can do.
Yeah.
I'm just reading some of the message board, and I'm sorry to be chuckling to myself, but Pete Taylor has said tonight's show is sponsored by questionable Temu electronic clothing. And yes, Dennis, Ollie did wear shorts. It's incredible. I don't know how he does it, but he was there in his shorts on Saturday as well. Mick Greaves has said he thinks we need a defender and a winger, and he also agrees send Chang out and Donovan out on loan. And that's it. Well, I had a cat on my lap, said Don Kavanagh. I mean, whatever he means by that one, I really don't know.
Okay.
We got any comments on YouTube?
There's a lot of talk about Newman. We don't, as we just touched on, we don't really know what's for certain what's happening, whether he's coming now or summer or pre signed or what.
Be a shrewd piece of business if we'd signed a pre-contract. I think we're not desperate for that position as we currently speak. And worst case scenario, we're talking about Dion Sanderson going out on loan now, right? There's probably a recall option. So if ever we needed to do something, you can recall him. This guy, 2 million now or 2.5 million now or a free?
I think it was.
No-brainer. You know which one you'd go with.
Yeah,
I agree with Warren Starling here. Like, we need cover at left back. That's a must this window. I agree with that. When he got Cochrane and he's playing a minute of every game, isn't it? So definitely on that. I agree with that as well.
Well, at the moment though, he has started to play Laird at left back as well, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Laird could
So
go
at
there,
least if you've got like Billick and Sam said at right back, Laird can fill out, which is quite good. I think our squad is quite good that we can have like utility players that can play everywhere. My main thing would be sign Davies and sign Gardner Hickman.
Yeah.
That's what I would do this window. Just pen them down.
Yeah.
Do 2.5 year contracts each or whatever they want. Because I think Davies, I mean, I was sceptical when he first came in, but him and Claire at the back,
solid.
I just, imagine that, in 2 or 3 years' time, solid centre-back partnership. And Gardner Hickman, you can play wherever. He's just a player that will just play football.
Yeah.
If you put him at left wing, he played left wing at one point. And then he was centre mid. Wigan, he played about 5 different places. Saturday, he started off centre mid. Then he went to right mid. And then at one point, he was covering Laird at right back. And I think in the team, you need that.
Sorry, Claire, I was going to say, the thing I like about him is so intelligent. He's got such a good footballing brain. He just sees things before anyone else at times. So, get him signed up.
It was a lovely ball through for Dykes' goal as well, wasn't it? When he brought it in.
Yeah.
But it was a lovely ping down the channel from Gardner Hickman there. But no doubt, he could do a job at left back as well if you put him there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do agree, though. I do think another left back as backup for Cochrane wouldn't go amiss. So unfortunate circumstances with Buchanan's injury. But, I think we do need, even if we just loan somebody till the end of the season.
Just to get us through the next few months.
Yeah, just to give a bit of a breather. Maybe, tomorrow night's too soon now, but in games like tomorrow night, I mean, that's another question. How seriously are we taking this tomorrow night? Do you think we'll go full strength?
I would.
Oh, gosh, we've got
to take it serious.
We're that close to a Wembley appearance. Come on.
When are we? 3 games.
Yeah.
Is it 3 games after tomorrow towards Wembley?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a no-brainer.
What do we think then? First 11?
Playing the worst team in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would we do tomorrow? Then would we play?
I would mix it up slightly because obviously we've got a league game against Exeter on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I'd still expect the team that we played against, like Exeter in the cup, and I mean, to be fair, we haven't really got 2 teams at the moment because our squad's getting thinner with the injuries.
Yeah.
But I still expect, like Peacock Fowler, I can expect him to maybe start. I'd probably have Cochrane. I think Clever will be in there. I think Laird might start. I think Iwata and Pape will start, 100%. I think he's got to go for it because I don't want extra time either.
No.
Penalties.
But it's an extra time. It's straight to penalties, isn't it?
Straight to penalties.
Is it penalties? I don't want penalties. I don't want to be later, Craig, than I need to be.
It won't be that.
You're all to do with you, Claire. It's Claire.
Oh, no.
Do we know?
I'll be fine at the Newcastle game. I'm top priority.
Do we know how far off Stansfield is to coming back in?
He said he was close, didn't he? I think he'll be back for Saturday.
He'll play Saturday.
I don't think he'll be involved tomorrow, will he?
No, nor will Billick, I don't think.
It's his old club against that, isn't it? You want to play.
Yeah.
I mean, touching on tomorrow, I mean, Swindon, like I say, I think Al said it a minute ago, they are terrible at the moment. Oh, they've got a decent draw on Saturday. I think they drew 0-0 with Crew. Who
They've had a little bit of run where they've won a couple of games, they've drawn a couple of games, and they've got beaten a couple of times.
But they're 20th,
which is, massively improved on what they were before the new manager came. But they're still, let's face it, out of 92 teams, they aspire to be 90th, don't they?
Yeah.
We should be right.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see anyway what team we start off with. As long as, again, though, I don't really mind as long as we win the game and we progress. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we do have like a cup team though, don't we? So like Yuki comes back and like we like Yokoyama plays and things like that. But I would take it as a chance to maybe rest a couple and put some more in. But I'll take it seriously. It's a chance to win a cup.
Silverware.
Out of the 3 competitions we're left in, we've got a very good chance of winning the 2.
Yeah.
So, do you mean like the league and the Virtue Cup are 2 winnable things? So let's just go.
Let's face it. When you're 3 points clear with 2 games in hand at the top of the league, and all the other contestants are below you, you should win it, shouldn't you? I mean, it should be a walk in the park.
Well, now Wickham haven't got their manager, Alan.
Who?
We've gone to Luton, hasn't he? Wickham's manager, Bloomfield,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's
However, according to TalkSport, it's going to ruin Wrexham's season.
Ooh.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. It's ruining Wrexham's season. I don't know why they're coming up with these comments and why they seem to think it's just all to do with Wrexham, or should I say Disney in the UK. But
Wrexham have given a huge title boost, apparently.
Yeah.
It's not going to ruin their
Really?
season. Probably it's going to make it better for them, innit? If their manager's gone and they're second, it gives them a better chance.
I know. But do you know what? I couldn't give a toss. He's proven himself as being a decent manager. He's gone on to a bigger club. Fair play to him. Good luck. I don't care.
No, I don't. Again, it's an advantage to us, isn't it? We can pull away even further, hopefully.
Pull away, yeah. And there's not, so I say, there's not a lot of teams in our league or League Two have got the option of having a cup team. So,
I mean, I'm watching the last few games, you can just see, not watching us all season, really. You can just see that so many of our players just don't belong in this league, do they? They're far too good,
No.
So, and full credit to Craig Gardner and, the recruitment side of the club for that as well, because we have upgraded massively in a lot of positions, haven't we, I think?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I think Newcastle will be a good test, because where are we? Are we actually too good for League One, but actually we're really far away from, do you mean, are we near the middle? Are we, if we get battered 6-0 and we're playing our best team, kind of wondering a little bit, I think it'll kind of, bring you back down to earth a little bit, but let's see what happens.
I think we'll give them a hell of a good game. It'll be an incredible atmosphere.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere is going to be,
it's going to be fantastic.
absolutely rocking. I mean, I don't know how many we're going to give them. How many do we have to give them?
15,
last time, sorry, Craig, last time they came in a cup, 2017, I think we gave 4,600.
Yeah.
I read earlier.
We'll give them the whole Lower Gill Merrick one, won't we?
Yeah.
I think so.
That should be the cup game.
Didn't we once give Bolton?
I think Gill Merrick are going to have to move then, aren't we?
No, I think didn't we once give Bolton Wanderers the whole of the bottom?
Do you think the club will allow me to have a ticket?
No.
There's a lot of red tape out.
I'll tell you my latest gripe, right? Because of the situation of the game on Saturday, I couldn't go. Not my fault, totally theirs, right? And then they come up with the cheek to say that because I didn't buy my ticket Saturday, I'm third place in the list of getting tickets for the next game. Now, that is absolutely abysmal. I bought my season ticket to see 23 games, and I'll be lucky to see 15 this year, right, for one reason or another. But on my ticket, it says I can have that ticket for a cup game. I've got to pay, but I can have a... They didn't even open my stand, let alone let me have a ticket for it. And now they're telling me, because I didn't go, I've got to drop down the pecking order. Well, I'm boiling about that. I really am.
You'd
The
have
thing I would
thought they
say,
would have
Al,
opened the stand
is-
for you.
There was 17,000, right?
Yeah.
17,000. 1,500 of those were Lincoln.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, they have not sold the tickets to all season ticket holders.
I understand that. Yes.
So,
Yes. And
all
that's,
the people that are talking about, yeah, we're down a pecking order, I totally agree. I totally get it, because I've got members of the Solihull OSC that have said the same thing. They couldn't go Saturday. They've got kids who they wouldn't take to a late night game during the week. They don't go to League Cup games, let alone anything else, or League games, I should say. So they now feel as though they're losing out. But the one thing I would say is that leaves 15 and a half, say 16,000 people that were at the game the weekend. We've got 18,000 season ticket holders.
yes, I understand that.
And the away games count as well. They reckon they covered 80% of season ticket holders with that announcement, because they brought the cup games into it.
Yeah.
I still struggle with that 80% figure. And the reason I struggle with it is we haven't been above 12,000 in the Virtue Cup when we've been at home. So you can't touch 80% of season ticket holders when they've gone to general sale. Mm-hmm. Do I think, and honestly, the other thing is, it is people that bought tickets for Saturday automatically are thinking, oh yeah, I'm sorted, I've got a ticket for the next round. No, they've got to also have attended 2 home games. So therefore, whilst it's unfair, I don't think season ticket holders will have any problems.
No, I don't, and it's to be honest, it's an emotional thing. You know, I'm all of a sudden, because I've moved house. You know, I was like Claire, a platinum plus. You know, I was the first person to buy my ticket for Wembley. You know, I walked up to the gate when they opened the doors. You know, landed over me 90 quid. All that business because I was a platinum plus holder. Now, because I've moved, 20 years of being that is white clear, and you just feel personally, this is a personal thing, that they're saying, we don't give a toss about you. You know, yes, thanks for coming for 60 bloody years, but now, goodbye. You know, you're just a season ticket holder, nothing else.
I think the problem is, I don't think that they worded it correctly.
No.
I believe season ticket holders should always come first. I do worry about, I think loyalty is the biggest word, I think, that comes with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I've spoken to Craig many a time on the phone discussing this.
Yep.
I do think that we need to make sure that the loyal fans that have been for years and years, who have been through the rubbish, are remembered. Totally getting new fans. Do you know what? We need to fill a 60,000 new stadium, don't we? We need new fans, increased revenue. Fantastic. Can't wait. But you've got to remember these fans that have been up and down the country, that have maybe moved like you, Alan, the OSC, that brings everybody together. It shows how many fans do live in other parts of the country. Yeah. And a 12 o'clock kickoff is very difficult to get to on a January as well. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, the amount of games that we've got at the moment, you know, in every cup competition, it's a lot of money that's all of a sudden going out of people's accounts.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I know I'm Platinum Plus and I'm really proud to be that, but I think the loyalty towards some of the higher ends of the away, even all of the away, I find that that's not up to scratch either. But I just think we just got to be careful that we make sure that we look after our own before we go searching for new fans, if you know what I mean. I think that's got to be a...
I couldn't agree more with that, Claire. Honestly, I think... like you say, we've all sat through the rubbish over the last however many years it is now, 12, 13 years since we won the Cup. And, they don't want to... the better we get, I appreciate, the better we get, the more it's going to cost. And you get what you pay for and all that. But don't price our diehard fans out of it, though, completely, you know, and don't replace them with fans that are just there for a 50-50 scarf to see us play Man City in a few years.
How often have we played at 3 o'clock at home?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
If you look at 3 o'clock kickoffs at home, I mean, we've got somebody who sits behind us, Trevor, who's disabled. He can only make 3 o'clock kickoffs.
Yeah.
I think I've seen him a handful of times because that's the only time he can come. And that's not the club's fault.
I've been to all the 3 o'clock kickoffs, Claire. I've been to 6 games.
Yeah, and if you think about
games
that,
at 3 o'clock.
It's not fair, is it? And I think it's not the Blues that changed the times, it's the TV. So I'm not saying, but we've just got to be careful that we make sure that everybody gets included and, you know, the loyal fans that have been there through it all.
Yeah.
You know, like if you watch the Jordan James goal today, look at the stands. There's no one there.
Yeah.
I know it's in the 95th minute, but nobody's there. And just think about it now. I mean, we have been praying for what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and we have been there, and we want it full. We want the atmosphere. We want new fans. We want this. We want that. Just don't forget the ones that, like Alan, that have moved and things like that.
If we sell out every league game, there must be people dying. Oh, I can't go. You know, I can't get a ticket. I want to go. So when we get a cup game, why do we close the stand? You know, those people, there might be, I don't know, 3,000-4,000 of them, desperate to see Birmingham City at home, and we close the stand. So we're only going to sell 18 and 19,000 tickets anyway. And people like me can't get there. So that opens gaps, surely, for these people. But what? It's just, again, I'll go back. It's authorities. Why didn't we, the TV, we were on some foreign gig, right? Why didn't we say, I'm sorry, we're not having a 12 o'clock
You should get money, Alan.
I don't think we can say no.
Yeah.
We don't get millions and millions. We get a few thousand.
Yeah.
And if we'd have filled that ground, we'd have got that money back.
Yeah.
I'd have got.
Mm.
I don't think when it comes to TV, and I know with Sky this is the case, we can't turn them down because of the contractual arrangements.
No, I know that.
I don't know how it works with the FA Cup, and it's a valid point, Al, you know.
TV is king.
If we'd have had a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, not on the TV, what would the attendance have been? Yes, it probably would have been greater.
Over 6,000 at least.
You see, but then I also
I don't think we would have. I don't think we would have.
Oh, I don't
think that would have made any difference whatsoever. And like I know Ian Clayton said, if we get to Wembley, season ticket holders, we're going to get about 30,000 tickets for Wembley.
Yep.
Season ticket holders will be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Season ticket holders will be fine. If we get there, we've got to get there anyway. And if anything, we would not be talking about this if we had Newcastle away. We would not be talking about this if we had Cambridge at home in the next round, for example. You know, I think it's because it's now happened. This is why people are coming up with it. But
it's got to continue as well. So let's just put it out there because we know people from the club listen. Right? So my thoughts on this now, they've done it for Lincoln. They got 17,000, 16,000 of our fans. So there's 16,000 people that now, in theory, will be in and around those tickets for Newcastle. When it comes to Newcastle, they cannot change the stance that they have already set out. So therefore, when it comes to the Newcastle game, they've mentioned the Virtue Cup already. They can't now turn around and go, if you turn up, you've now got to have attended 2 cup games. They have to stick to the same rule.
Yeah, you can't change the goalpost, can you?
Can't change the goalposts. So the rule should be as they've set out, which then means those people that didn't go to Lincoln that will no doubt turn up for Newcastle will then become priority because they have bought a ticket for a game in the cup. So the club have set a stall out now. In theory, and it is only theory, it should mean that 100% of season ticket holders have then attended a game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that for Newcastle, you're not guaranteed your seat, are you, if you didn't go to Lincoln? Because obviously the person...
I don't know about that, because your season ticket contract, when you look at what it says with your season ticket, it states it is available for a cup game.
Yeah, but the rules...
And you've got the problem with Gil Merrick being now full, because obviously Newcastle probably have most of it.
Yeah.
Where are you going to put them?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
All of a sudden, the crowd's gone from 29,000 to 25.
25, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it depends on how they look at it. But in theory, yes, somebody that went on Saturday and has been to 2 other games in the league, they go ahead, based on what they announced, of a season ticket holder that hasn't been to a League Cup game or the Virtue Cup or the FA Cup. Now, because of that, does that mean that season ticket holder loses their seat? It shouldn't. Because all they say is you are in the pipeline for a ticket. It doesn't state, for those others, your same seat. So therefore, season ticket holders should have priority on their own seat.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully. I mean, to be honest though, Craig, I mean, for a game like Newcastle, if they move us, they move. I'm not, as long as I'm there, you know what I mean? I'm not overly concerned.
Hey, bro, they're moving you to a different wing,
country.
so you're not going to be
Different
there.
country, I think.
Now you said you're wearing an hoodie. We're going to put you in the car park.
Just to add one more little drive. One of the games that was listed on the article I was reading that helps you qualify was the Charlton League Cup match. Now, I did go to that game, but I sat in the Charlton Inn. The reason I sat in the Charlton Inn, because my Platinum Plus has now gone. I'm now just a dreg. And all the tickets were sold for Charlton. So as much as I wanted to be there with the Blues fans, they wouldn't let me. So I still went, risking life and limb, and went to the game. I don't get. I've spoke to people on that. Oh, we can't give you any credit for that. Why not? You couldn't sell me a ticket. I've got one from somebody else. Oh no, you got to buy it off us. Well, I can't buy it off you because I'm now a blue season ticket holder, and we sell out our 2,500 like that, and you don't ever get down to there. I went last year.
We
to
had
Leicester.
13 away games that did not sell out last season.
I'm not talking about last season.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you wanted to get higher, it's another thing.
Yeah, but I know that. Yes, I know that. But practically, and when I first moved down here, when I was still a Platinum member, I went to 8 games away, which basically was anything south of Stoke, right? Just couldn't get there and back in a day otherwise. So I went to every game I could and got demoted from Platinum down to Blue. And then I every time I tried to get, we sold out. Now, you might say the games weren't sold out, but if you rang, or worse still, you went to ticket off, what do they call them? Thank you.
Ticketmaster.
The agency that does the tickets.
Yeah, Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster.
Yep.
Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster.
Oh, Mr. Watson, sorry, your membership doesn't qualify for you to buy this ticket, even if they got tickets to sell.
Anyway, should we move on to some fun stuff?
On that point, I've got to go.
Yes, 25 to minute, yeah. So,
right.
Blues are going to win 2-0 tomorrow.
Okay. And what about Saturday? Saturday, extra.
Saturday, we're going to win 4-0.
Oh, okay. That'll do me.
Yeah, I love that.
See you, Titan.
Or maybe even do 6, and then Chris can do his thing.
Have a good night, Claire, and don't worry.
Have a good evening, Titan. See you later.
Rave on.
Bye.
Okay. Should we do the Who first, Chris? You got the Who ready?
We can do the Who first, yeah. Hang on, let me just get that lined up. Okay. Right, okay. This is from somebody who has appeared as a guest, I think probably be 3 seasons ago. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm going to do this really quick because you're getting too good now.
Corners or anything, because I was quick. I was always the one that stayed on the halfway line for the counter-attack or the break. So I wasn't really involved in any set pieces or anything else. So that's why I can't remember scoring. So.
You're looking a bit bemused. I'm shocked.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know that one.
Woo! Come on. Call me three in a right.
I was gonna have a guess, but I'll let the audience have a guess first. But I've got a funny feeling I might know.
Okay, just leave it for a bit then. I thought at the beginning it sounds like you, Rob, doesn't it?
Was he talking sense?
I can't remember scoring.
Play it again, Chris.
Being left back as well. Well, normally left back on the bench for you, any Adams?
No. I recognise that. I'd say it's a West Country accent.
Yeah.
No, not me, but you know.
You could be right
You made me
there.
sound like Wurzel.
Well, do it again.
Here we go. I'll hold it a bit and I'll give you a bit longer. Here we go.
Corners or anything, because I was quick. I was always the one that stayed on the halfway line for the counter-attack or the break. So I wasn't really involved in any set piece.
It's that West Country accent that gives it away, I think.
The only person of West Country accent I can think of maybe was a former right back, now manager of Bath City.
Ex-manager of Bath City.
No.
It's not. That's not Jerry Gill.
No. Somebody else said it sounded like Robe as well. There you go.
Trevor Johnson said Martin Granger. It's not Granger.
No, that's not Grange. No. I'll just have a quick. It's not Jerry Gill. No. No.
Is it someone from the same neck of the woods?
I think he is. Yeah. It's not David Cottrell as well on YouTube. No, not David.
He's been on the show.
Yeah.
That's a recording. That's a recording of him speaking to us on the show.
Yeah. A couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think I might know.
Good effort from Christopher Rowe, and unfortunately we haven't had George Friend on the show, so it's not George Friend, but that's a good effort.
Yeah.
I've stuck one onto our little group chat. I don't know whether that is the case, but that's what we thought.
I think that's right.
Where?
Just not spelt right
on the chat.
Oh yes. I've just seen that. Yeah.
I can't.
He's
leave
a West Country lad. Came.
I can't leave that. I can't leave to have a look at that one. I can only look at the one on.
Can you play it one more time, Chris?
Yeah, of course. Here we go. Here we go. It's your last chance now. Where I'm taking it.
Corners or anything, because I was quick. I was always the one that stayed on the halfway line for the counter-attack or the break. So I wasn't really involved in any set pieces or anything else. So that's why I can't remember scoring. So
I can't remember scoring.
I remember him being on the show.
Yeah.
In my time, so.
Oh right, okay. So nobody on Facebook, I don't think, has got it. Let's have a quick look. Mark Cooper, no, Mark Cooper, not Jason Bowen, and not Robe's dad.
Was that sent in by my mum?
I'll have a quick look on YouTube, see if anybody else got it. George Friend, Ian Rogerson, no. So it is. Go on, they'll let you.
Chris, I've got to check. I've pinged you on Messenger.
Okay, I can have a look on that. No, you're not. It's not that.
Oh, it's not.
No,
not Darren Rowbottom.
It's not Darren Rowbottom.
What?
Well, I see that.
Oh, you've all gone for Darren Rowbottom. Oh my life!
I was going to say. Oh no, I was going to say something really stupid. I was going to say Paul Marden.
You got it spot on.
Was it?
Well done, Roby.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So Mark Brooks actually got that as well on the shout box.
Sorry,
Paul Marden.
Paul Marden.
Yeah.
I remember that comment because I asked him what the hell was he doing playing centre forward against the Villa in the League Cup, and that was his answer.
Okay, fair enough.
Emergency striker.
I was stabbed with Nicky Forster. But...
Well done,
Jason
Mark
Adams.
Adams.
Sure, it's not Robe's auntie.
It's my auntie Paul.
I just play you the first couple of sentences again. It just sound like Mark.
Corners or anything, because I was quick. I was always the one that stayed on the halfway line for the counter.
Corners? That's definitely Robe.
That's Robe, that is.
I thought it said Korma. I was in Curry.
I'm going to do, he doesn't play for Barnet,
yeah.
But he's Barnet.
So anyway, before I do that, I'll put a little bit of a taster on our Facebook group page. And we had some very strange answers just for a laugh, I put 3 percenters up. Started with Mark Adams. There were some funny ones there. Mark Adams and Claire Gilby and Paul Hipkiss. We had some great ones. What did we have? What did we have for Paul Hipkiss?
Tommy Mooney.
Tommy Mooney.
Tommy Mooney.
Yeah. But the best one was probably for Claire. Paul Tate. That was absolutely fantastic.
Keep him rave on. It's just brilliant.
Paul Tate. Anyway, it is this week's. Let me know what you think. They didn't play for Barnet, but here's the Barnets. Any ideas straight away?
Can't see it.
I can't see it.
When it comes up on my phone, I'll show it on the.
I've got it.
I've got a lag.
Oh God. Are they both? Did they both play in the same team or around the same time, or are they different eras?
Yeah, I think they're both from the same same squad. I think same time. Ian Clayton's got it, and Peter Taylor's got the other one.
Wow,
that's
brilliant.
Impressive. That's quick.
I think the pair of them need a prize for that.
That is fantastic.
Can I have a look, please, Craig?
You can. Let's turn it around.
Alan doesn't know who they are yet. We haven't said.
Let's have a look.
I can't see anything.
Do that again, Craig.
Should be up on it now.
I can see. Yes.
Yeah.
Two blonde hairs. Well,
not really. No, that might just be the lights.
It is the light. It's not. Yeah. It's not blonde, but they're lighter.
Is that I'll say do Gary, but without his headband.
That rope, if you look at the message board, you'll see the answer.
Oh, okay.
I'll put you out of your misery anyway. It is in fact McCarthy and Rowett. Well done. Well done to everybody who got that right. That was a good one. Yeah.
My eyesight's not what it was.
Steve, number one couldn't be me because my hair's receded further than that one.
I didn't think John McCarthy had that much hair, to be honest, at the time.
Yeah, he did. He did at the beginning, yeah.
Talking about hair, you may have noticed that I've trimmed my face down.
My
head.
Yeah.
And
we didn't want to say.
But the last time I did that, we lost at Charlton. So I promised I wouldn't cut my hair again until we lost again. But I'm thinking, well, the way we're going, I could trip over this beard soon. So I cut it off. Somebody bought me a Christmas present, so I used it.
Well, can I just say, we're going into a weekend, and it's the return of the ladies' games. So playing away on a Sunday, but we've got some upcoming games at St Andrews that the ladies really need our support down there for. It's £8 an adult, £2 a kid. It is a family day, but they do so much that's different. And I know I say it all the time, but if you can get down there even for one game to support the ladies, we're top of the league, same as the men. We're both going for that promotion. Remember, there's only one spot. So actually our support in those games is going to be key to helping them. And they've got some toughies coming up, but they're all winnable. And I'm sure we can do really well. So if you can get down there, I'll be posting details of the games and the tickets availability, etc. But well worth it just for one Sunday afternoon, 2:00 kickoff, and help the ladies get this finally over the line and back into the Women's Super League. It'd be brilliant to do a double celebration at the end of the year.
Question from me, if I may. Is there any way we can delve into and have a look into how many pay and display secure car parks there are around the stadium? So I am sick to death of seeing people's cars ripped apart when watching the Blues.
Or stolen. There's so many cars being stolen as well this season.
I know. It's just absolutely horrendous. So obviously, I don't know if the police can do any more than what they're doing about it, but if not, is there any way we can come up with, maybe links to websites to the all pay and display car parks or the location of them? Because I think a lot of people just don't know where to park when they go to the game. Mm-hmm. So they end up parking on, your public streets, and that's what happens to them. That's the thanks that they get, for parking there, which is just completely bang out of order. So you know, people work hard for what they've got, and you know, you have to look after it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of scumbags about in this day and age, especially around the stadium when we're in there watching the game. So I think it's only right to try and do something to see if there's something we can do to help, to see if we can find, you know, more pay and display car parks around the stadium. So I think there is more than what people know.
Yeah. I think there is.
And then what I'll do is I'll dig out some of the details that I know through the OSCs we circulate, because you're right, Paul. We've all seen the messages. I think the one thing I would turn around and say, though, for everyone is there has been an awful lot of slating of West Midlands Police for this and saying that things aren't being done. Actually, what's not being publicised and perhaps should be more is the amount of arrests they have made and the amount of people that are now serving sentences through being caught doing this. And also, the last home game in the league, a set of Blues fans found one of those scumbags in somebody's car. And they held them in the car and they made sure that they got themselves to the police. So people are trying, but I agree, Paul, it's not right that you go down and people have to travel sometimes hundreds of miles. As the only route, they come back and they've got no front of car or no car at all. But they do, you know, not just saying it because again, we know they listen, but West Mids do a lot and are trying their absolute utmost. As fans, I think we can do more as well, though. You know, don't turn a blind eye if you spot somebody that looks suspicious. There's plenty of police around by the stadium. If you think something's up and it's not right, report it, tell them. Because if we don't tell them, they don't know. So, you know, make sure that we're doing that. And also, where these things are put on, you know, the town centre is an example. Park in the town centre, use the free bus service. The 1875 service to and from Birmingham, now that Digbeth itself is a bus travel-only area, you know, is a lot easier to get to and from the game. So utilise the services that the club are providing as well. And I just want to clarify one point. It's been asked whether it was a false piece of information or whether it's true that at the ladies' games we are trialling drinking in the stands. I can confirm it is true. We are one of only a small number of clubs that are going to be trialling it for the women's games. But you will be allowed to come to the game, no longer have the restrictions of having to stay in box to box or in and around that area. You can take your drinks inside the stadium. It is being monitored until the end of the season, and then further decisions will be taken as to whether that expands. But it is true, and it's not just, you know, talk. That will definitely be happening.
That's great. That is fantastic. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Just going back to the cars being targeted. I mean, are they being targeted, or is it something that happens anyway? I mean, are these opportunities? Are they opportunities?
I've not seen it anywhere else other than, you know, from our supporters. So I don't know. I can't say because I don't know. But obviously, the first time I've ever seen it so frequently is after one of our games.
Yeah. It's because it's highlighted, isn't it? The additional people and the additional football that does happen. But I can tell you for definite it happens around there more often because my dad works down that way and I heard the reports of it happening all the time. But also outside of the area, it is a thing, you know. It shouldn't be. And I'd love nothing more than to find these horrible, horrible people. And you know what I mean? Don't want to chop up a car. Hey, come on, don't want to take the front off a car. We'll take off their legs. You know what I mean? It's just daft. But, you know, we do need to get on top. But there are things. The club have got their car parking. There are car parking areas in and around Birmingham. Does involve that walk up from Digbeth, but we'll get those published. In fact, I think I've seen a couple going on to Tilton Talks page already with the local parking.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
But also, like I say, utilise the services the clubs are putting on. And if you can do it, and I know it's only going one way and one route at the moment, but utilise the public transport, utilise the trains, because they're there to use and people can do that, and that cuts it down as well. But it still shouldn't happen, and I do not advocate it one little bit. And I think these people are the scum of the earth.
They are.
Yeah, well, should we come on to predictions now? How do we follow that? Yeah, predictions. Exactly. I'll start with tomorrow night. I think we'll win tomorrow night 3-1. And Saturday, I think we'll win 3-0. Rob?
I think we'll win tomorrow. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. So I'm going to go 2-0 tomorrow. I think we'll get to the quarters. And then Saturday, 3-1. I think we'll win Saturday as well.
Okay, yeah. Alan, are you coming up Saturday?
Oh, yes. Well, I've got a ticket. It's called the season ticket. It lets me sit in my seat. I think one of these games is going to be a 4. I'm not quite sure which. So I'll go 4 tomorrow and 3 on Saturday.
Got to silence the lambs then.
You've got a nice glass of Chianti there as well.
Hello, Clarice.
No goals conceded.
No goals. No.
Okay.
Not this defence of ours. I don't think Newcastle will score, let alone this lot.
Craig?
I'll go for a 3-0 tomorrow and a 3 on Saturday. I can't see us conceding tomorrow night. We could give them a tanking, but I just don't. Let's go with that. 3-0 on both.
I don't think any of these teams that we've seen so far, haven't we? That we haven't really, they're not easy games, are they? Not as easy as we think. Some of these teams were playing. I mean, even Lincoln on Saturday after we scored so early, like I said earlier, I thought we were going to go on and get 3 or 4, but to be fair to them, they were quite well organised, weren't they, defensively? And a lot of teams are like that. Especially when
Sorry, Paul. I was going to say, I don't, especially in the Virtue Cup, a lot of these lower league teams, it's surprised me that they don't seem up for it. Shrewsbury in the early rounds, Exeter, they don't seem up for it at all. They're like, have as many tickets as you want. You think they create like a bit of an atmosphere and, they've got the big boys coming to town sort of thing, but they don't seem to have that mentality.
However, look at Swindon for tomorrow, and somebody posted a picture the other day of their home sales for the tickets. My God, it's going to be empty. And I think they missed the trick in terms of opening it up to more Birmingham fans.
Yeah.
We're talking about financial difficulty, and they proper missed the trick. But hey, and I do know people, Al, you mentioned it there about going into the home end. I know people that applied, got tickets, and then had a note sent to them saying, you don't live in Swindon. I'm ever so sorry, you're not on our register, you can't have your ticket, and they've all been refunded. So there's so many things that are wrong about tomorrow night, but,
Yeah, but imagine going back 12 years now, say, we got Lee Clark, obviously we're getting, say, 15, 16,000 or whatever on a Tuesday night against whoever we're playing back then. And we've got some of the away fans sitting amongst us in our home end. I'd hate that. I would hate that. As a fan, I'd hate it. I wouldn't like it.
And
the problem is this season, it's all over them. It's if you look at the messages and what people are putting, I put money on the fact that we haven't had one away game this season where there hasn't been Birmingham fans in the home end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
At Orient, they sat us all together because we were right next to the Blues fans, and nobody got up and jumped and shouted when we scored. But when the game had finished, and the team came over and waving and whatever, suddenly there's all these people standing up, and I must have been amongst. I thought it was just me and my daughter. There must have been 30 or 40 of us sitting, and we'd all got seats together. Now I know some people who sat the other side, but yeah, it's. I mean, I had trouble. I couldn't get a ticket for Wickham because I wasn't registered as a member for long enough. Where else wouldn't they let me in? I forget now. But Wigan, Charlton, I've been to twice. Sat it. Okay, it was no problem in the cup match because there was only one stand open, but the whole ground was open in the other one, and I sat there, and I didn't say much because we lost. But I got I had to. This bloke in front of me just kept standing up, and I wanted him to to tell him, if you don't sit down, I'll sit you down, sort of thing. But I daren't because as soon as you open your mouth, they know where you come from, and what are you doing in here? So you sit there and bite your tongue, basically. But I think especially in the lower leagues where there is plenty of space for everybody who wants to go. Stretch these away sections a bit more. Yeah. So how many can you sell? We'll sell 2,000. Okay, we'll set aside 2,000 seats for you. We can sell 5,000. All right, we'll set aside 5,000 seats for you.
Yeah.
Not. Oh, this is the way in. You can't come in here.
It's actually the Football League, though.
Again.
And they're the ones that are dictating what we can and can't do, because we've had games this season where we've swapped the ends. Stockport's a good example of that. I mean, firstly, who would stick their own fans in a stand with no roof? I mean, that's just beyond me. But there are other games when they've swapped it around, and I think the club have done their absolute utmost. And those clubs, in all honesty, that could accommodate without causing too many problems with the policing and the stewarding, which is ultimately what you will get to, have done it. And no doubt, when it could, Bolton is another one. I know it's a midweek game, but I bet they'll give us a good whack of following, and we'll sell it. So it's there. The pain is this season. You look at it this way: if you go up into the Championship, then next season we're not going to see this, because the vast majority of games you'll be talking near enough double what we're seeing at the moment. So yes, short-term pain for long-term gain, I think is the saying, isn't it? And then that's where it'll be. Next season, we're not going to have this problem.
No,
but they're going to kick themselves, aren't they, when we go up? Because then they're going to. They'll think, oh damn, why didn't we give them more? So
yeah. Chris, your predictions tomorrow night and Saturday?
I think there'll be loads of goals tomorrow. I really do. I think it could even be 5, but I'm gonna go for 4 goals tomorrow, and 3 goals on Saturday.
Okay, that'll do. Excellent. Right, well,
we're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost there. Just to sort of round off as well, I just want to say, how sort of proud I was in a way to get involved in last week's show with David Stockdale. I thought it was a great show, wasn't it? And he really did open up, didn't he?
Yeah. If people haven't heard it, please listen to it now.
He's a very difficult person to talk to, David, because he's so honest, and he doesn't hold any grudges, and you almost think, but surely, Dave, this must have pissed you off real big style. And he's so good about it. Yeah. And you say, I texted him some time ago now, and I said to him, surely there must have been something in your contract which said that if you played another game, then you got more payments, or whoever we bought you off had got more payments. And he said, no, no, there was nothing like that. So I asked him, well, what was it then? He said, I don't. And he genuinely says, I don't know. And it's hard to believe, but he's such a nice bloke. Why should he lie? Why should he lie?
No, exactly.
So laid back.
When his son turned the light off, was obviously comedy gold work.
Classic.
Yeah,
absolutely classic.
So one of the funniest moments. But so
well, there we go. We're there.
Very enjoyable show, and do catch up on that on our YouTube channel as well, and do give us a like and follow on YouTube, as well as obviously on Facebook and other platforms as well. So. We have been the Tilton Talk Show. It's good night from me, and it's Come On You Blues for tomorrow and Saturday, and it's good night from Mark Adams.
Cheers, Paul. It's good night from me, and it's good night from Craig.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Craig. Okay, I'll take that one. It's a good night from me. It's a Come On Blues, and if you can't get to the game tomorrow and you want to join us for a watch along, come to the gig in Acox Green, Station Road, see some details. Come and have a drink. There'll be a fair few of us down there watching the game, and we may even have a special guest there. So if you fancy it and you ain't got no details, ping me and I'll let you know where it is. And over to the chairman.
Thank you very much. You remember I'm still here. Thank you, Thank you, everybody. Good night. God bless you all. and it's over to the man with the buttons, Mr. Chris Brown.
And it's a good night from me. Good night.
And it's a good night from Claire Giblin.
Tato.
Good night from Mark Meredith.
Claire Tate.
Rave on. Rave on.
Here's to a trip to Wembley.
Why, whose house are you going to rob to get there, Mark?
No. Wembley's getting closer. And if we get to Wembley, I'm going to buy a badge and a flag and a cap and a t-shirt.
They're getting closer. They're moving your prisons.
No? Smell the hot dog?
Got rid of the slop.
No, he's still here. Oh dear. Oh, I'm so